At it. So today is the shoulder day. So I'm gonna do 3 sets of a Smith mini press, 5 to 8 reps. And it's all about going slow. So let me start off with this. So obviously, I'm a big fan of shoulders because shoulders is one of the main reasons, probably in terms of aesthetics, right? Like in Korea, we call it oke kangpe, which means shoulder gangster. So I always try to go pretty hard on my shoulders. I always try to eat a little bit more extra on shoulders because it gives you that aesthetic look with that V taper, the round shoulders, right? So let me start off nice and slow. So the 8 reps there. I'll probably start off with raise it up a little bit. So by the way, on your Apple Watch, if you kind of do it regular, I realize you just keep pressing that button, that crown thing. So you always get emergency call, and I'm trying to get like people on me. So I'm gonna do this, flip around it like that. But yeah, man, it's fine. Good to start my vlog. I mean, I was like kind of thinking like I work out every day anyways, right? So I was like, fuck it. I work out every single day. Might as well kind of start a vlog where I kind of show you guys what I do every single day, because I think I'm a person who can actually show people how to get in shape, because I used to be fat, right? And it took me like 8 years, I would say, to get my body. Man, that's the music's really loud in here, but pretty loud. Um, so yeah, I'm probably gonna shoot the shit with you guys a little bit while I'm working out. So what do I want to talk about? Why do I work out actually? One of the main reasons I would say I work out is because I think working out is probably my main way to show, I don't know, it makes me feel like a man, you would say. I think if you lack confidence, working out is probably the best way to start feeling like, I don't know, more manly. Because I feel like in the end, you gotta admit that you're a man, and there's certain aspects of a man that society sees. But I guess it's the way you gotta define what you think of as a man to start it. But working out for me has always been a thing, right? I grew up watching Rocky. It's kind of old school Rocky, Arnold Schwarzenegger, superheroes, right? And I always realized all the jack guys have muscles. So it's something that I would look at. I was like, man, I'm a guy with, let me add weight, by the way. And then add weight in a sec. So just to increase the weight. I'm a big guy on the progressive overload. I think that's pretty much I'm not an expert, but I do think progressive overload makes sense, right? If you get stronger, your muscles get bigger. So that's what I'm doing with. Let's go next set. Let's go with maybe 5 or 6. Nice as though. More. One more. Oh, that was heavy. All right, so I'm probably gonna stick with that weight, guys. That was good weight for me. Honestly, I'm not gonna go up because it's not about, when it comes to workout, stop thinking that going heavy is good. First of all, at my age, I'm 33, you'll probably injure yourself. And I just got my body the past 2 years ago. And I realized if you overwork yourself, like I still work out every day, but I try to not go to failure every single time, because I do think if you overwork yourself, you actually burn out. And I do believe in that. So, but anyways, it does feel weird to start my blog. Before I do that, let me talk about it. Let me do one more set right here. So, one more. Oh, okay. That's a good way. This workout, I'm gonna do shoulder raises, but machine lateral. So I always warm up with like a 12 rep set, and then I go heavy. So I'm gonna start with probably, let's go with a little light. Let's go 12. So I'm gonna go like a little bit slow. All right. So I usually go nice and slow, right? One. Uh, ah, bah, four, five, 1, 2. That was actually kind of light, so I did 15. But did you see how I kind of like flare out my back and I go like this? That's kind of the way I do it. But sometimes I go this way. I do different ratios, kind of where my shoulder pain is. Let's start with that, and then I'm gonna do 3 sets of 5 to 8. So what do I want to talk about? Yeah, guys, I think in terms of like my confidence level, right? So funny story. I've been having a lot of haters, I guess you could say, in my life, where I guess I've been posting a lot on my Instagram about my body, how I change. And you know what's crazy? As my body changed, I actually have more haters hating on me. It's just a very interesting thing. Like, I don't want to talk about the specifics, but pretty much people were talking behind my back, doing shady stuff behind my back, and I thought they were my friends and all this kind of stuff. And I realized, dude, like once you're successful, and it's funny, my dad said this, right? My dad said, your personality is actually too strong. It's a personality that's going to take time to get used to. But he said it not in a negative way. He's kind of saying that that's who you got to be. And I feel like when you hit my age, right, I used to always want to fit in. So let me just tell you guys a quick story. What happened was I was in a group chat. So this is where the talking shit story happens, right? So I'm gonna sit down with both. So I was in a group chat and basically some guy, right? And I'll be honest, right? So my backstory is I've been bullied by a lot of white guys when I was younger for being Asian and also overweight, right? So you could say I have some, I wouldn't say trauma, but some vendetta against white guys, but not all. I'm friends with white guys back in the States, but white guys in Asia, like right now I'm in Bangkok, right? And white guys in Asia, they just piss me off sometimes. Not all, but some of them I feel like are very entitled in terms of why they're here. And let's be real, most of these guys who are here because Thailand women love them and they feel a little bit entitled and arrogant here, which is fine. Like, just don't talk about and brag about it, right? I'm here in Thailand because it's easy. I mean, the cost of living is so low here, and I can live so much better than I do in any other country, and it's comfortable, right? So I'll definitely say I'm living here right now. Let me do my next set though, real quick. So, like I said, I'm going a little bit heavier. I'm going to go a little bit heavier right now. I guess I'm going to do it more from the side so you can see my angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually kind of light. I'm gonna go heavier on that one. Probably do dirty box next. But anyways, back to that topic. Right, basically, this white guy was said that here's the thing. I don't care what you believe. The music's very loud, but for basically the white guy in the group chat, it was a joke, but still, it was a little bit harsh of a joke where he said Korean men are raping, right? Here's the thing. I understand jokes, I understand trolling, and you could call me sensitive or whatever, but I feel like for racist jokes, especially Asian racist jokes, because think about it, I would never go and talk shit to a black guy, right? It's just, I don't know, maybe it's a touchy subject, but it's just my culture too. I'm not gonna talk racist. I'm not saying all Koreans are not racist. No, Asians are racist too. But there's something about people not talk shit to a black guy. But this white guy had the audacity to call me or call my race Korean men rapey, and he said Korean women are ugly. So here's the thing. For me, my rules are don't talk about race with me. Don't make fun of the Asian guys. Don't say we have small dicks. Don't say we can't drive. We're nerds, all that stuff. It's just not my thing. And I used to let people do that because I wanted to fit into the group. And I don't want to do that no more, right? It's just my boundary, right? And you could say I could have not maybe because what happened eventually is I talked back to him. I said, "You're a white boy who's in Asia," and I said like, "You ain't getting girls in your country, so you're probably here." Just I did my way of trolling. Was that a little bit more sensitive? Yeah, but it wasn't personal. It was just we were both trolling. So we did that, and something kind of serious happened from that, where a guy, basically his friend, his best friend, tried to report me to the cops, saying that I was doing illegal stuff in Thailand, which I wasn't, but he tried to get me deported, which was so dirty, right? Me and the white guy were actually good. We actually talked to them. We're like, hey, bro, I was joking. You were joking. We're good. But long story short, this random dude tried to report me to the cops. And he didn't even mention to me he was mad at me. So basically, some of the story is the white guy's best friend, instead of the white guy reporting me to the cops, where me and the white guy were going out in the group chat, he reported me to cops. And I'm like, are you serious? So some people, and I thought these other guys who were in the group chat were my friends, actually told me that I should have de-escalated the situation, right? Let me finish my set though. Let me go on my next one. This is my second set. Ah. 1, 2, 3, Oh. Ah. So anyways, long story short, you know, not only did, I just left the group chat, obviously, but I actually ended it with those couple friends who actually try to say I should have de-escalated the situation. Why? Because here's the thing. There's some things as a man, and I think, while we're at the gym, I told you about being a man and how working out really helped me. I really think that you need to stand up for your beliefs. And before, I wouldn't stand up for my beliefs because I wanted to fit in with the group. I wanted to be cool with the group. And some of you guys who are watching this might disagree with me and might even unfollow me because I'm talking about this. But for me, race is a thing I don't talk shit about. I won't talk shit about someone else about their race, and they don't get to do that to me. And I stood up. Could I have been a lot chill? But I actually said, don't generalize. That's why I said to calm down the situation and kept going. So I went back. And sometimes it's okay to fight back. I think this world has become all about too much about let's all be peacemakers. But I don't think that's realistic to just be a peacemaker in the world. I think there's a reason, right? Men fight wars. Like this country, even Thailand, the whole world was developed by some kind of conflict. Am I saying conflict is wrong? Yeah, I think war can be wrong, but also my background as a soldier, right? I'm still willing to fight. I think that's what makes it dangerous, right? A man who can fight and actually back up his talk, but he doesn't become aggressive. So for me, I have that mindset. Like, feel like if you're going to talk shit back to me, like, back it up. I watched this Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance on Netflix, and he said, the sign of a good man is a man who talks back, talks shit when it's 0-0, not when you're up, when you have the advantage. So these guys who obviously live in Thailand, this guy who called the cops on me, apparently, he has these connections, right? Let's say if would he have done that in the States or in Korea where I have more of the connections, right? So what I'm saying is, guys, it's okay to stand up for yourself, even when you're down, even when you feel like you have nothing. And even if a bully tries to mess with you and you have no power, you can't beat him up. You still want to hold that pride as a human being and as a man that you fought back. Because trust me, I had one of the worst times in my life, worst memories, lowest point in my life. I'll tell you about it. Let me finish this set real quick. Ugh, let's go. One, two, three, four, five, six. This workout is going to be upright rows with a W bar. Once again, I'm going to do the warm up of 3 sets of 12. Let me start with that. The lightweight first. So obviously this kind of hurts my shoulders a lot. So I should go a little bit light, but like lighter weight, nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go heavier. But anyways, back to what I was saying, right? So I forgot what I said. Yeah, so I kind of lost all my friends this week in terms of who I thought were my friends, but you know, people have been saying all the time at 30-year-old, you grow out of your friends. I'll be honest, I probably am. This year was probably one of the worst in terms of losing my friends and the people that I used to talk to. And why I say that is because, yeah, I think I lost a lot of my friends that I used to hang out with. Why? To be honest, like the party, even the group chat, the guys in there were more party guys. And I'm more of like a health guy, right? I think as I get older, I can't really party as much and I don't drink at all, right? I mean, to be honest, like guys, to have a body like mine or any of these guys you look up to, you can't have this body without like living at least a different life from other people. I'm not saying, yeah, there's some guys who are blessed. I gotta give a shout out to Sam Sulek because this is why I'm doing a vlog, because I saw his videos and the guy just lives this life which he's constantly eating and working out. But what I'm trying to say is like real talk, like you can't want extraordinary things without living or putting in extraordinary effort, right? And I know like I'm trying to do that in my business. I'm doing it in my business, right? I'm starting YouTube and everything like that. But I feel like a lot of people try to say you can have your cake and eat it too. And I don't know if that exists. I don't know, even with like meditation or spiritual or law of attraction, can you really have your cake and eat it too? Like, hey, I'm gonna eat whatever I want with like, extra drugs and all this kind of stuff. And still like, people like, for example, steroids is a big thing in bodybuilding, right? Like oh, like you guys say people are on TRT, pure steroids. Like if I did that, I would get jacked too. I don't think that's possible. I don't think, for example, Barry Bonds, he's one of the best baseball players in the world. Yeah, he took roids, but can you actually be like him just because you take roids? It's not possible. You got to put in kind of some effort to become this extraordinary person, right? So, once I started living this life that I really want and trying to be like this, I realized that I can't kind of hang out with, and I'm not judging, but people who do normal stuff and have normal bodies. You can't be having an extraordinary body if you don't live an extraordinary life. So, extraordinary effort, what I call it. All right, let me do my next set, because I got to get jacked. So now this is 5 to 8 reps. All right, so I'm gonna go up and wait on that. But yeah, man. So what else do I want to talk about today? Yeah, and let's talk about the haters, right? There's another line I saw in a Drake video where a Drake song called "100" by The Game. Gotta give a shout out to him too. Basically, he says that you know I would have so many more friends if I wasn't successful and confident. And I'll be honest, my confidence has truly gone up these past few years because of the way I've been successful with things that I've been disciplined about, right? Like the body, my Instagram, and everything like that. And I feel like once you reach a type of success in your own version of it, right, you should be confident. You should not kind of belittle yourself or try to be too humble when you're around people so they like you. I think you come to a point where hang out with people who do like you more than hang out with people who you have to change yourself to like you. Because I don't know, as I get older, it's just like, why? Like, of course, I'm in Thailand and I'm going to respect the culture and the country, but if I'm disrespected, obviously I don't want to fight because some people do have leeway here. Money goes a long way here, so I don't want to be that guy who like. Let me just sorry for recording. Yeah. So I don't want to be the guy who, fights Thai people because there's some crazy people out here. But I think it comes to a point where you do need to realize that you will not be liked, and that's okay. Obviously, if everyone in the world hates you, definitely look into yourself a little bit and figure that out. But I don't know. I guess for me, I just recently kind of like lost all my friends group. So I'm trying to be like, yo, am I doing anything wrong? Let me finish my last set. Ready? What? Going up and wait again. So yeah, back to that, man. Like, just be you. Like, I'm serious. At age 20, if you're in the 20s, you're probably watching this and you're like, I want to fit in. I want to be in the popular group, even if you're in high school. But I'll be telling you guys, my whole life, I didn't really fit in. Like, and I tried to fit in. And I thought I was happy if I had the cool kids around me. I had all the girls and everything. Like, but when you change yourself too much, honestly, it's very shitty. Like, it's a very shitty feeling that they don't like you for you and you have to always be different. And I'm just like, lately, like I said, the Drake line, right? I would have more friends if I was more successful and didn't have my confidence. But dude, what's more important to you, right? In the end, like I always tell myself this: I am going home alone and I'm sleeping in my bed alone. My friends aren't there with me. My so-called friends, my followers aren't with me. Even you guys aren't with me, except, I appreciate you guys watching YouTube, right? So in the end, am I happy going to bed alone? Did I fulfill the day that I want to fill? And if I sleep like that, I'm actually okay with that shit. Like I genuinely am happy with who I am every night, even if I'm not liked by a lot of people. And that's what I've been going through this week. So just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, last one. Ugh. 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 I usually put it in between my legs like this. And I go like this. And I just go up, right? Ooh, that's kind of heavy, by the way. See, that feels, I don't know what it's hot. Oh, this is better. Yeah, this is a better way. So, 1, 2, ah, 7, 8, ah. This is actually, when I do the 12 reps, you just go with 3 sets of 8 to 10. Sorry about showing you guys my bag, but ooh. Ah. All right, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, man. If you guys are watching this and you're at the gym, you're obviously on your way of trying to be different from what normal people do. And I'm not saying like we're better than other people. Guys who work out or try to get to this epitome of a body, right? The physical peak of what your body can achieve. I'm not saying at all that you are different from anybody else. I'm not saying you're better, all that stuff. I'm just saying like at some point you gotta realize like you are on this journey to be somebody that will be hated on. So you really have to like, how do I say, be willing to be. Yeah, I guess you got to choose to be different, and just some people will not really like you for that, and it's just something. It's gonna be hard to accept. I'll be honest. It wasn't easy, man. I kind of got depressed, and I actually like last night. I kind of binge ate my feelings, and I do have this time when I definitely binge ate my feeling. So I just want you guys to let you know, like, I'm not perfect either on that note. Yeah, so I changed the area, so we're gonna do lateral raises right now. Um, But yeah, so this is a nicotine patch, by the way. I use that for focus. I got it from Alex Ramosi. Got to give credit where it's due. But let's do shoulder raises again. So, like I said, I think with shoulder raises, you got to focus on the contraction. I truly believe that the slower you go on shoulders, you get more of that mind muscle connection. And honestly, guys, I didn't believe in mind muscle connection. Because I just banged out the reps. But lately, I've been focusing more on tempo and the contracting of the muscle. And I mean, I have results to prove it with my photos. It actually helped out a lot. And I think one thing about working out is, yeah, like you got to hire a coach. I do think hiring a coach for fitness will shortcut probably a lot of things in your life. A lot of people are against paying somebody else to teach them a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a coach. Maybe I'm biased of it, but I truly believe that having a coach guides you through the workouts or even anything in life, right? Like I told you guys, I'm a dating coach slash confidence coach. And the reason like I am a coach today is because I learned from other coaches and I felt like I had my own gift to share to others. But anyways, back to the workout. Lateral raises, right? One, two, three, four, five, eight, nine. Switcheroo. Two, oh, oh. Oh, so I actually just got off a call with a client and we're just talking about dating, right? Because you guys know that's my main job, I would say, as a dating coach. Dating is interesting, right? And I actually realized this recently. I'm a really good dater, but I'm a terrible person in relationships. What do I mean by that? So dating, I think I've mastered in a way. I put in 10,000 hours actually. So what is entails of 10,000 hours of dating? It's about going on actual dates, approaching enough women. Like I had a time in my life where I approached literally for a whole year um, a lot of women and got a lot of rejections, but also a lot of dates, right? And I failed a lot of times. And what's failure in terms of dating? I would say, does a woman like you? Some people call it physical intimacy, might be the end result, but I would just say if the girl likes you or not, and whatever your definition of a girl liking, it could be sex, it could be kissing, it could be whatever. It's all getting a second date. But dating has actually become easy, especially in this day and age, because it's so easy to get someone's attention. That's why a lot of times I say Instagram is a must-have for dating because with Instagram you can spike up a girl's interest in you pretty quickly by bragging about yourself, but doing it in an indirect way. So that's why I always tell my clients who want to work with me, you need to get your shit together on Instagram. And if you don't believe in social media, you're kind of fucked, to be honest, because social media is probably the best way to actually learn how to attract a girl. Because usually when you're on a date with a girl, you have to kind of brag about yourself, but you have to do it in a very smart way. But if she looks at your Instagram and you brag about yourself and you have all these positive attributes and you're able to show it in a very smart way on Instagram, now all the work is done. So I don't know why people hate on my Instagram when I say I use it for dating. Obviously now I'm using it more for social media. And I'm pretty sure even YouTube, right? Let me just finish my set again. What? So do you guys see that? It's all about contraction. I think cables are the best for contraction because you're in constant motion. Ah, 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 One, two, three, I guess on that note, how do you actually become attractive? What is the definition of like an attractive male, right? I don't know. This question, here's one thing. A lot of people are gonna be like, well, maybe, maybe I should ask the women in my life, my mom, my sister, my cousin, what makes a man attractive. You know what? I think honestly, and you might disagree, but this is my personal experience. I always tell all my clients and all my friends, my guy friends, do not ask your girls, the women in your life for dating advice or what makes you attractive. Why? Because here's the thing about women, okay? This is my belief. I think women's natural state is emotional. And what that means is, I'm not saying they can't be logical because there's women who are logical and analytical and everything like that. But I think, there's a book called The Female Brain where they explain how girl babies versus boy babies, if they were in a room, they're playing with toys and an adult comes in the room and they have no emotions, the girl baby will actually drop her stuff and make an emotion out of as to the adult. So that kind of shows that a baby girl natural instinct is to create some kind of emotion in the room, in the environment. So when you ask a girl for advice, what happens is she's going to tell you what she finds attractive, what she looks in a man. So if you don't meet that criteria, most likely she's going to give you advice on how to become the man that she finds attractive. And let's be real. Do you want to really be the man that your sister finds attractive or your friend that you friend zone find attractive? No, because you're not interested in her. So you have to figure out what makes, right? What do the women that you want, the type of quality of woman you want, what do they find attractive? And that's hard, yeah, because right now you're like, but I don't know any girls like that. That's why you hire a coach who've dated women like that. And actually, you know how I know? Okay, one of the best ways how you know a guy gets women is the way he talks, the way he acts around women, and kind of the way he talks to you. Like if he has no social skills even with you, he probably can't date women because if he can't have social skills with a guy, how can he have social skills with a girl? But the biggest thing is Instagram. A man who knows how to use Instagram for dating, especially in this day and age, probably has some kind of success, especially if she knows how to take pictures, he knows how to dress and all that stuff. Like you can't just date a scrub now. Like there's no way a guy can talk to you about one when he's dressed like a scrub. I know there's those crazy stories where a hobo gets girls and all that stuff, but I don't know. I think that's BS. I think that's BS marketing and all that stuff. Anyways, let me finish my last set. Oh, two, ah, nah. Shut up. One, two, four, eight, nine. Okay. Now the next workout is gonna be for my back of my shoulders. I guess your rear delts. So what I do in rear delts is, everyone has their talk about this. Like, here's that. I'm not a fitness expert, but I've worked with enough coaches. Also, I've I wouldn't say I have the best shoulders in the world. So honestly, I'm just giving you my shoulder workout what helped me. But I do think to get what I'm trying to achieve with my shoulders, that rounded look, where it's called the 3D shoulders. And I think genetically, right, my chest and my shoulders are not my strongest points. My legs, like definitely are my strongest points, but my shoulders I need work. So I try to like I can't tell you guys that I've gotten the shoulder I wanted. So I can't tell you how much effort you got to put in your shoulders, but right now I'm on that journey. So hopefully as I post more videos throughout the year, you guys will see my shoulders change. So just kind of also doing this vlog to kind of show my progress through this, but let me show you guys how to do rear delts. So this one, I'm going to warm up again. All right, 8 sets of 12, right? I'm going to go backwards like this. Back this up actually. So you get more. Okay. So it's all about contraction. Back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 5. Oh, good 6 reps right there. Um, you know what's interesting about working out? I think it's also crucial for you to know what kind of body you want and actually copying the person who has the body you want. Some guys want to be really big, so there's like a couple bodybuilder pictures here, like huge, right? And I think you have to also find out what makes you look attractive in what body. So a lot of guys want to just get big and jacked, but if you want to talk about pure attractiveness in a man, I think it depends on your body type. Like for me, I don't want to get too big because if I get too big, you actually look short. So I actually tell shorter guys, I don't think you're getting too big. will actually make you look more attractive. Because if you're too big and you're short, I don't know, it's kind of like in fashion, right? As a shorter guy, you need to wear fitted clothes. You can't wear baggy clothes because you actually look smaller. So I always tell one of my friends who want to follow the hip hop style and stuff, and he's always doing it, but he's short and he's kind of big. So I told him the more bigger baggy clothes you, because you want to be ghetto or you want to be, gangster kind of clothes. Like he wants to have the ghetto style of the rappers and stuff, not ghetto into the nigga. I'm talking about the gangster style. I'm like, you don't look good in it because it's not fitted. So, people always want something, and whatever they find attractive to someone else, they want to do it on themselves. But I always tell them, you need to find out what makes you attractive. You got to stick with that. And sometimes, yeah, what looks good on this guy model who's 6'2", 6'3", or 190 centimeters, 200 will not look good on you. And that took me a long time because I used to want to be like other people. But then I realized sometimes you have to figure out what's the most attractive version of yourself, right? Anyways, back to my second set. That's gonna be. Oh. Ah. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit more. So excuse the craziness. That will probably get a better view. Yeah, guys, man, I am hungry. So funny story. Obviously, I was a little bit sad, and back to my childhood days where, like I said, I would overeat, and I definitely overeat. And if I overeat, usually the next day I'm not hungry. So it's okay to not eat the next day, guys. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Like I don't know why people are like, you have to eat this at this. Like if you're not hungry, unless you're trying to bulk, where you're trying to put in calories, and you're not a big eater, then yes, find ways to make it work where you might have to take like a drink, like a mass gainer shake, just to eat more calories. But for me, I would say I'm more of a mesomorph. I used to be an endomorph, which is more a guy who gains weight, but has a bigger round body. But now I'm an athlete. I've kept this body for 2 years. And that's another interesting, right? Identity shifting, right? I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm just ranting. So in terms of like identity, right? Let's say you start out as an endomorph, which is more of a chubbier guy, and then your body changes. Are you still an endomorph or a mesomorph? Because I always thought I was a endomorph because I was fat, but then I have kept this body for 2 years. And I actually, yeah, do I gain weight fast? Not really anymore. I actually feel like I don't know, maybe my body type changed, but can you actually measure that scientifically? I don't know. I know the only thing scientific in fitness is like your testosterone level, right? You should get your testosterone level checked. You gotta get your body fat. Well, even body fat, what looks good? So I might be at 10% body fat, right? But I look leaner because I have bigger abs than somebody else. But my back actually has a lot of chubbing. So let's say you take this off real quick before I show you guys. So my front looks really good. I'll say this part, I have a lot of fat. You guys know what I'm saying? So my front has less fat, but my back has more fat. So am I like single digit body fat? No, I would say I'm more at like, how do I say? I'm probably at like 10% body fat, but because my front, has better ab outline, I look leaner than some other people who's at the same body fat as me. That's just how it is. And then that's what I said. Like, even when you guys watch my video, you guys can't compare of you can't compare me to you. You kind of have to find your own way, right? Because you might not look good looking exactly like me. But I do think having a certain type of leanness, and everyone has abs. Everyone truly has abs, guys. Because trust me, for a long time I thought I didn't have abs, but once I lost the body fat, I did. 2, 3, 4. Ah. All right. Video is going to be bent over cable rows. So it's more bent over, crossover. This is going to be like 10 to 12 or 8 to 10. Whatever volume is good, but let's check with 20. Sorry about showing you guys my butt, but it's an example of what I'm going to do. Ah. Hey. Ah. 9, 10. By the way, this whole rep thing about what reps game is the best, I think 8 to 10 is probably the best reps. You go higher, like sometimes I go higher, but it's kind of based on can I handle the weight. So I feel like 8 to 10 is good. That's what I just did right now, 10 reps. But like I said, I'm going to do 2 more sets of this. And I am so hungry. Fuck, I can't wait to eat. So what's my eating plan? So what I actually do in terms of my eating plan, I actually have a nutrition plan. I work with NutriChef. It's a Bangkok-based meal plan. It's my best friend's meal. It's so good. And that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it works. Like some people, don't like NutriChef, but I don't know why. But just not their taste buds. So if you like cooking, cook. But find an eating habit that works for you. But you can't say, yeah, but I like pizza, I like cookies, and all that stuff. Like I like cookies too, but you know what I replace it with? With protein bars. So a lot of people try to make excuses like, oh, I can't change, I can't do this. But guys, you weren't born eating cookies, right? You actually loved your mother's milk, breast milk. Are you going to drink your mother's breast milk because you loved it as a kid? No, you could change your eating habits. Because for me, I used to eat a lot of candy and sugar, but now I eat more fruit. I still like sugar, right? But I'm trying to make it more into fruit. So you got to change things up. Like even people become vegan and they start loving it, right? So you kind of have to figure out what you like and try to make it a healthy version of it. Because guys, like we never as human beings used to eat cookies, processed food like this, right? So you got to figure out a way. If you really eat processed food, might as well make it healthy and have a lot of protein. So eat protein bars. Protein bars. Some people, like one of my fitness coaches, he doesn't believe in protein bars, but I love protein bars. It's my way of. It's kind of like my sugar meal, my sugar spike meal, right? So let me go back. Ah, ew, ah, 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 ah. Might actually hire the weight on the next one. But yeah, I mean, I think what's more important actually, the diet, the diet or working out. See, I do work out every day, and I'm more of like burn more than you eat to lose weight. That's what I am more into. I don't want to eat less and work out less. I rather eat more and work out more so I could burn off the calories. But because I love eating, I love food. Food is like a social thing for me. Um, was another thing I do when I eat. I love snacking, right? When I'm watching movies, what I now do is there's these potato chips that I used to love. I eat like salt and vinegar broccoli chips. They're made full of broccoli, but they like deep fry it or not fry it, deep fry it, but they kind of air fry it, and it's fucking delicious. It has like seasoning on it. Or guys, I know it's crazy, but there's flavored crickets that taste like potato chips, but they're more protein and they have spicy flavors. And in places like Asia, they have that. So I know you guys are like, yeah, but I can't eat crickets. I can't eat broccoli chips. It doesn't taste the same. But well, guess what? Then you're not gonna be jacked. You know what I mean? Let's just face it as it is. Like a lot of people like complain about not having a nice body, but you got to put in the work. You got to change up your lifestyle if you actually want to change your body. Like it's crazy. Like I want to do the same thing and have my body. Like you can't sit there and meditate and have your body. It's not possible. You can meditate all you want. You can do all the spiritual shit. You can do all these affirmations, but with vision board, it don't work if you don't put in the work. Like it's crazy how people think you can just get whatever you want just being chill. Anyways, show you my next one. Oh, this one's heavy. One. So throughout you go, I'm gonna actually lower the weight because that's too heavy. One, two, So do you guys see how I lowered the weight? Like honestly, throw out your ego in the gym. It's about I'm actually moved too fast on that one. But if you can't bring up the weight and you're cheating, like don't cheat, right? Like everyone wants the fucking easy way out. You can't just cheat on everything, right? Like even then I lowered the weight. No one's watching, it's just between you and me. And I realized throw out your ego when it comes to certain things when you're trying to achieve a goal. Okay. Like I said, I think abs are genetic. But I do want to working out. I do think you do need to put weight on it to actually grow your abs. So start with the ab workout. These are called rope crunches. So you start here, right? Go down slow. One, two, three, ah, two, ah, ah. Actually, so for abs, not only do I just do ab workouts, I actually focus on high fem. It's a thing where look up Brian Johnson. He's like this guy who spends $2 million on body. It shakes your abs and stuff, and it's like a high frequency thing. So that's how I would say. I think that's why my lower abs actually look better because I've been putting on my lower abs. So I don't know. I think it works because I have proof on my photos. But I think everything in life, guys, if you're gonna talk about something, right? Like, hey, I got girls, I have muscles, I have all this. You know what's the best way to just like show people is to actually have the result, right? Like a lot of people, I feel like even on YouTube or Instagram, they just say they have stuff, right? But like, do you actually have it? Do you actually live that way? And I think in a weird way, that's like a confidence thing, right? If you just have it, like you can tell people you have all this stuff. It's kind of like telling people and showing people you have a Lamborghini on your Instagram, but you actually don't have it in your garage. It's just for show. There's something about that where you do feel fake if you don't have the body, you know? And I know everyone photoshops on Instagram, but that's where you feel a little fake. Even me, when sometimes I first started like doing modeling and stuff, I felt fake as fuck because I'm like, am I actually that good looking? But as long as you're true to yourself, you'll never feel fake and you always should feel good. All right, next set. Maybe I'll make a video on my high fem session when I do it. But yeah, anyways, man, thanks for enjoying this workout. Workout is actually more fun while I'm chatting and doing the workout. So it's actually a cool vibe that I get to talk with you guys and work out and just kind of rant and putting my thoughts on a video so I could actually listen back. Because worst case, like here's how I think about vlogs on YouTube, right? It's gonna be kind of cool to know what I think because I kind of like recording my thoughts, right? Because you're kind of thinking about your subconscious slash conscious. And I feel like you ever watch Black Mirror? It's like a TV show where they talk about, let's say there's one episode where you record everything that you see. Is that good or bad for society? Where every time you come back home, you can record everything you saw during the day. I guess it's like a CCTV in your eyes, but is that good or bad? Because they have this one episode where the couple was saying, "You did this, you did this, you did this," and then they started playing back the recording of the fight, and it just actually ruined the relationship more because I think everyone has a different perception when it comes to life, and they don't want to see anything different from that perception. They want to believe in what they saw, but to see actually reality, it fucks them up, right? And if we don't have that yet, why not create your own reality? Of course, don't bullshit yourself, right? Don't be like, oh, I'm getting girls when you're not, or you're thinking girls like you when you actually don't know if girls like you or not. But create some kind of positive reinforcement as long as somewhat realistic, right? There's a difference about being stupidly optimistic, but also being positively realistic. Anyways, last set, guys. Let's finish strong. All right. That was a good workout. We're done. Woo. What's up, guys? Yeah, so this is my food. So how I actually stay in shape, guys, is I realized one thing, right? I love food. I think food is a social thing. And I always joke that I work out to eat because I actually do work out to eat. Oh shit. That lighting is going on and off. But um so for me, I rather, like I said, I rather work out more and eat more than work out less and eat less. And one thing I realized is I still love food, so I wouldn't be able to, I would go out to eat a lot and I wouldn't know what I'm eating. But I work with this meal company, I guess meal plan company in Bangkok. And it's actually my friend who did it. And he's a Michelin star chef. So the quality of food is good. It's a little bit pricier for sure, but that's why you start, working with them and get that sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? But I still pay, to be honest. I'm telling you guys the truth. Like I pay, but obviously I get a better deal with it. But thing is, I realized with meal plan, the food has to be good, and I think that's one thing I struggled in America was I never found a meal plan. And what's cool about this meal plan, and I pay a little bit more, is they deliver every single day, and I don't think you could actually do that in America. So you need to find ways to eat food that's good. Because if you eat out a lot, and this, like I said, this is all personal to me. I'm telling you, I tried everything. I tried keto diet. I tried intermittent fasting. I did all that stuff. But in the end, it was what I was putting in my body. So actually, I don't track my macros. I just eat this, and then I add like protein and fruit on it. Don't change it up much. But let me just start eating. Like this, it's just good. It just fills me up. And like there's other meal plans in Bangkok. I'm not talking shit about any other meal plan company. I'm just telling the truth. This fills me up. And what it does is if I'm still hungry, I add a protein bar to it. So I usually eat grenade bars. They're probably my favorite protein bars. And then I eat these bars called Musashi, which has 40 grams. And it usually fills me up. And I'm still hungry. I said like I snack. I like snacking. So I would go with fruit or these air fried vegetables. They're like sea salt or sea salt and vinegar or some have barbecue, and I'm gonna start eating crickets. There's these like deep fried crickets in Thailand that's pure protein. They actually sell it. Like I said, in America, they haven't done that, but I think they're still like on Amazon, you can find it. But that's what helped me. I feel like I'm able to eat food that I like. And once a week, you know, special occasion, whatever, I do have cheat meals or I guess eat without my friends. But if I know I'm gonna eat a big calorie meal, guys, like just be smart about it. Just be a little disciplined. It's kind of like, you know how you don't open your Christmas present on until Christmas? Like there's a reason for that, right? And when you finally open it, you got the whole Christmas music going, you got your parents waking up, you wake up super early. On cheat days, I feel like you should actually make it like, oh, it's a special meal and kind of like earn it. Because there's something about like for me, so I have this like rule, right? I don't eat until I do 5,000 steps. And sometimes I'm super hungry, sometimes I'm not. But there's something about like a little bit being hungry, actually super hungry. You don't want to be super hungry, sometimes you'll overeat, but like being hungry and then eating something is something like, it just like tastes better. So if I'm gonna eat anyways, I want to make it taste good. So that's something I do. Um, yeah, and usually instead of recording videos, I watch like documentaries that I really like. I've been watching The Last Dance a lot. About Michael Jordan. By the way, Michael Jordan story. So Michael Jordan, everyone talks about him having like an aura, right? They say he's so charismatic that when he enters the room, even if you didn't know who he was, you would say that's somebody. Yeah, he's tall, blah blah, and he has probably a muscular build, but whatever. But I'm telling you, I didn't believe it until I experienced something in Paris. Okay, so I was in Paris. And my friend's like, I want to take you to the best club in Paris. So we're going to Montagnon, and I'm super excited. Best club in Paris, about to go in. And the bouncer like looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, you can't come in because the table's fully booked. Everything's booked." I'm like, "What are you talking about? There's a bunch of empty tables." But he's like, "Fully booked," and he gave me the mean mug. So you know, I politely left. I'm not Parisian, so I didn't want to get in a fight or anything. Um, I'm walking away, and I was with a friend that's a girl, so you know, I kind of felt, you know, a little. I'll be honest, a little emasculated, and that's why I probably couldn't afford a table there at that moment. Like, they probably charged, I think, $5,000 a table, but you know, I was kind of like, I'll pay for a table because it was really embarrassing to get rejected from a club. Um, and I thought I was like, you know, kind of feeling shitty about myself. So we're walking away, guys, and I seriously feel something on my neck. Like I feel some kind of energy, right? I'm like, what is this energy? So I stop. I'm like, wait, and I turn around, and I see a figure smoking a cohiba, a cigar. And it's Michael fucking Jordan. And he was with his friend Ahmad Rashad. I'm not even telling you guys. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm serious. Like I don't have proof of it because they wouldn't let me obviously go in there and get an autograph and everything because he was like in the thing. So he booked out the whole club and everything. But like, go YouTube what NBA players say about Michael Jordan. Like seriously, the guy has an aura. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. Like I literally saw. I was walking away, guys. I was literally walking away, and this guy had an aura. It was the craziest thing I saw. So that's where I guess I could go with. Okay, here's the next question, right? Do some people in life are naturally charismatic, or can you actually create that charisma, right? Because you know, if you watch The Last Dance, some people actually didn't like Michael Jordan. So there, after The Last Dance, I think Scottie Pippen and him had a falling out. A lot of people said Michael Jordan was an asshole. And there's actually a scene where Michael Jordan cries and he said, if you don't want to win, yeah, I might be an asshole. I have a certain standard and everything like that. But, and people actually feared him. The light just turned off. Well. Um, and honestly, like some people say Michael Jordan was just a mean, horrible person. But I think one thing that obviously I admire Michael Jordan, right? I admire certain people, and certain people might not like him, right? But we can all say that Michael Jordan. Oh, appreciate it, bro. I'll edit this out. Yeah, I think the C cable. Thanks, bro. Because I can edit this part out.
Much love. So Michael Jordan, I think him. So I think like we admire these people, right? Everyone has a hero. I think it's okay to have role models, right? And I think as long as you don't make them God and make them a figure above you, I think it's okay to have certain people follow. So there's certain things like Michael Jordan. They say he's the most competitive guy in the world. He literally competes in everything. And have you actually met somebody who always wants to like talk shit and takes it to the norm, like above? But one thing I realized, there's two different kinds of people. There's a guy who talks shit and backs it up, and there's a guy who talks shit and can't back it up. And you know who I hate the most? And I don't know if you agree, but the guy who talks shit or brags, but he can't back it up, those are like the worst kind of people. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative, but like the people who say, like, they talk mad stuff to you. Like, for example, let's say a guy says, yo, you know, he flexes on you and say he has a Lamborghini, but then you find out it's a lease, or you find out he borrowed it for one day. There's something, because the guy was an asshole, but he couldn't back it up. He's like a, it's just, I don't know, it just has a bad taste in your mouth. But one thing about Michael Jordan, of course I admire him and I might be biased, but there's something about Michael Jordan is that even the people who didn't like him said, you have to respect him. And Michael Jordan has some kind of fear. And I feel like people who have these crazy accomplishments, right? And there's a quote on this where, and one of his teammates said he had to be an asshole. Do you have to be an asshole to be great? No, I don't think so. Right? There's also good people who achieved a lot of things and are, you know, not assholes. But I think one thing about Michael Jordan is that everyone respects him, right? And I think, you know, while I'm making this video and I talk to you guys, that's something that I want to kind of aspire to, is to be a man of respect. Like, you might not like me, right? You might hate me. Some people might hate me, and you know that happens, right? But I do think as long as they respect me, like, there's another story. I don't know if you guys watch the new Napoleon. I actually want to go watch it. But apparently at the Battle of Waterloo, the guy who beat him and ended his reign as Napoleon, the Emperor of Europe, that's what he tried to call himself. He's a very narcissistic guy, right? Even Napoleon, probably very narcissistic. He even said, if you ask me who the greatest general and greatest army commander ever in the world, he says Napoleon. The guy who defeated Napoleon said that about him. Until this day, that's what is known. So it's not, I think what a lot of people these days want is everyone to like them, right? And I was talking about this during the workout too, how I heard this line from Drake, right? I'll have so many friends if I lost my success and my confidence. And I'm not saying like, I definitely, I would say I have achieved some kind of success in the past 2 years, right? And it's crazy because me and my dad never talked about this, but I asked my dad lately because I told you I lost some friends recently, and I wanted to really figure out, does it have something to do with me, right? Is it really my personality? Is it whatever? But I started asking advice, but I asked my dad the advice, and he actually told me, Danny, you have a very hard personality that it's gonna take time for people to like you. And I think this, now that I'm 30, I have become more strong in my opinions, and I'm very opinionated. So obviously, some battles, and I think some battles are meant to be won, some battles are not. But I do think there's certain things that I won't budge on, and people call me stubborn. People can probably call me cocky and whatever. But I think as long as you go to bed, right? I think Michael Jordan did this probably too. I don't know him personally, but I definitely knew that he went to bed knowing that he was a six-time world champion. And he know he was the first one at the gym. He knows he was the first one outworking everyone. And he and he said this. He said, on his second three-peat, he said, all these motherfuckers are joining this team and they're pussyfooting around, right? They're joking around, but I'm the one who created the foundation. And yeah, does that sound a little narcissistic? Maybe, but he actually worked his butt off. So when you actually see his beginning episodes, he says that like everyone was doing drugs and partying, and Chicago Bulls was literally a no-name franchise. Now the whole world knows about it, right? Knows about the Chicago Bulls. It was actually at one point the most famous team in the world. It's because Michael Jordan came in, he didn't party, he didn't like this, and you could see it, and his friends and his teammates vouched for him. That's the thing. If you're true to yourself, the enemies will respect you. Why? Because they can't talk shit behind you. Even if they talk shit behind your back, they have no shit to talk about because they know you're real. So Michael Jordan might have been an asshole, but he was a real asshole. He was true to being an asshole. Am I saying that's right? He probably don't have a lot of friends, but I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan doesn't care if he has a lot of friends or not, because I think he lost Charles Barkley as a friend. Yeah, maybe he's lonely. They say that same thing about Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, whatever. But like, I think Elon Musk is an interesting character too. I truly don't think he cares to give a fuck what other people say about him. I really don't think he cares. But I'm not friends with him, so I don't know. But I'm starting to realize that, right? If you stay real to yourself and people hate on you, don't forget there's also people that love you, right? Like my father. I think one of the biggest crazy things that came out of this past week where I was kind of struggling with a couple stuff about, I do realize like there's a couple haters coming into my life, or a lot more haters than before because I'm more public now. I'm on Instagram and everything. I realized that like the more successful you are, I do think, and I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it's true, but I've seen it happening to my life. And then also I'm trying to learn from all the greats, right? Like even Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Um, I mean, you see it in sports all the time. So I think sports is a good lesson for this, but I'm not an athlete, so I can't really speak. But in terms of life, I feel like I do think people actually want you to see you fail. I don't know if it's because they're jealous, or they don't. And there's this famous line too, where our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And during the quote, it says, it's because our light shines on their darkness. And it's a very powerful quote because I do think sometimes if you shine bright, it does put light. And the thing is, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to show you up. That's why you're shining your light. I'm saying shine your light in your own way. As long as you go to sleep knowing that you were real and true to yourself. And I think the worst ones are the liars and the cheaters, right? And that's how they're successful. Those are the old ones who are always crucified. But I think why everyone still respects Michael Jordan and fears him. I've been watching the documentary like 10 times, so I've just been like studying it. It's like because he's so true to himself. Like he just says, I'm an asshole, but an asshole that will tell you to do something and I'll do it. He was the first one I practiced. He was still outworking everyone. Like seriously, you watch the documentary and nobody talks shit. And even after, um, you know, the TV show came out or the documentary came out, Scottie Pippen tried shit on Michael Jordan's name, but then people were like, Scottie, you can't do that because you know that's lies. Because all of his teammates who did hate him, even like Horace Grant, who I guess spilled the backstory gossip news on him, said you can't hate on Michael Jordan because the guy literally just kept on proving every year and he wouldn't take a day off. Even when he lost, when he came back and he lost to the Orlando Magic, apparently he told his trainer, let's go work out. And he would shoot a movie and still work out. Sorry about domestic eating, but I don't know. Just my thought process lately. I feel like and you know, like I said, this is my vlog, so I'm gonna say what I believe, and like I said, you could agree, disagree. But I do think if you're scared to be hated, how do I say this quote? I think if you're scared to be disliked, it doesn't matter if you're liked or not liked. What I mean by is that I think, oh, actually, I'm gonna say it like this: if you're scared to be disliked, you'll actually end up disliking yourself. But I think if you end up liking yourself, I think people will automatically like you and love you because you're so true to yourself. And then other people won't like you either. But in the end, when you go to bed, even if you have a wife or kids or whatever, something, you're in your bed and you're actually laying next to yourself, right? Think about it. You're laying in bed, you're with your mind, right? And if that person loves yourself and likes you, who cares what other people think? And I'm not saying be a loner and like make sure if everyone says you smell and everyone hates you for a certain reason, you might have to look at yourself and be like, huh. But even some people love Hitler. I don't know if you guys know the story about Hitler. There was literally loyal followers who literally tried to like say he was right till the very end. I think even in the past few years, there's like guys who were on trial for doing things still think that what Hitler did was right. And there's still cult followings about Hitler, which is crazy, right? So what I'm saying is, you know, I think the right way to do it is see how you can serve the world, see how you could benefit the world. And, you know, that's probably, I think we're all put on this earth. And I think a purpose is, you know, purpose could be selfish, but I think the best kind of purpose is to serve the world somehow. Because Michael Jordan still served the world by giving us, showing us his gifts. He played a sport that literally you look at and that's like, that's art. And it kind of made you, I don't think anybody dreamed of being Michael Jordan, but there's some people who did, like Kobe and all these other athletes who did. But he inspired like a generation because of him. I guess people in Europe play basketball and all this stuff. So I'm saying is, I think you have good intentions, right? Your good intentions, you're not gonna do anything shady, whatever, and you become successful or you do what you have to do. And during that path, people don't like you and stuff. I think that's part of the process. And I kind of said this in the video, right? Can you really have your cake and eat it too? I don't think you can. I really don't. But in terms of literal, I don't think you have an 8-pack. I think you could have like a cake here and there, but if you eat a cake every single day, I don't think you could have an 8-pack and be below 10% body fat. I'm just telling you my personal results, okay? I wish I could eat a cake every day, but I don't know. I just feel like people try to take a lot of things in life and they're like, no, how do I make it easier? How do I make it more efficient? How do I make it more smooth? But and I said this multiple times in our video, right? If you want an extraordinary body, you have to do extraordinary efforts to get that body. I mean, right? Or even let's keep it simple. If you want to make a change, right? You want to change something about yourself, right? Sorry about the spitting. Don't you have to change something eventually, right? Like they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expect the same result. And I actually want to talk about this in terms of dating. Recently, I, was dating people and I actually got into a bad situation where, you know, in a way, it kind of ended. I was trying to figure out, and I'll tell you what I was doing. And I'm not saying I was right, but I was dating two people because I wanted to figure out who I wanted to date officially and commit. And I told them both, like, I'm not exclusive to them. They all knew, right? Maybe there's some, maybe not the full truth, I guess you could say, where, maybe one of them assumed that I was dating just her. But in the end, I never told them I was exclusive to them because when I first started out, I actually told them I don't want anything serious. But I started wanting something serious and my feelings got stronger. I'm not saying I was in love with two people, but I was definitely interested in two people. And long story short, you know, uh, yeah, both of them found out of each other and it was a shit show. And I saw two people actually hurt by me, by my actions. And I never, in relationships, you actually never see the other person getting hurt. I think the world will be a better place if like you can actually see how much that person's hurting. So there's a crystal ball and let's say you broke up with the girl, but you think you're hurting, but then you also find out she's hurting. I think if you see that, like you might actually have more empathy or sympathy, whatever you want to call it. But um, yeah, I mean, it really sucked. It was the first time I ever saw two people hurt by me, and I see it live. Like one person was messaging me through text, one person was crying in front of me, and I'm just like, bro, this is terrible. And I actually thought I never was doing anything wrong because obviously I was hurt by a girl, and she never saw how hurt I was. And even if I explained the words, she kind of pushed away. She's like, dude, relax, stop being a simp or being needy. So I went the route where I felt like I should choose women. I should choose the woman I want to be with after I see who's more compatible with me, even though there's chemistry, right? I think you can have chemistry with multiple people. That's why it's not so wrong to, I think, date multiple people as long as you're not lying about it, right? And that's why I say don't get. I don't know why guys get into a relationship and they cheat. I think just don't get in a relationship, bro. Why are you committing to a girl if you're gonna cheat, right? So technically I didn't cheat, but in a weird way, I was trying to explain to them and they didn't get it. Why? Because in their reality, I like gave them the feeling of cheating. Eventually, they both said I didn't cheat, but they still felt some kind of pain. And I realized they had strong feelings for me, and I didn't know. There was like a miscommunication where I didn't know their feelings for me were so strong, and it really sucked. So then I really sat back and asked myself, I could keep doing this, right? I could keep dating the way I'm dating, right, with new people, right, or the same person. But what would happen then is the same result can come out, right? And even if something different happens with other people, I didn't change. So yeah, maybe there's a couple other girls who might like be okay with that, but I realized I need to change something. So I realized now I'm going to be just brutally honest with women where I tell them right now I'm not ready for a relationship. Instead of kind of beating around the bush, I'm like, oh, I could be open to it. No, I just know right now there is no chance I'll be in a relationship. And I don't want to like pin myself to that, but like I just feel like I need to do something different because obviously I got a result and I really didn't like it that I hurt two people. And I'm not saying I'm like I'm trying to white knight or be myself like a good guy, but I just saw two people hurt. And there's something about seeing other human beings hurt. I don't know if you ever saw videos of people in pain, but have you ever seen someone like even recently I was walking down the road, right? And she was a person on the street who was selling stuff. I'm in Thailand, and she just started bawling. And I remember like I don't know why, but the tears seemed real. And I remember two girls first stopped by and asked her what was wrong, and they were both Thai. I just gave her money without getting the food because there's something about a person in genuine pain. I think unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath, I think if you see people in pain, I think most people try to help. And I think you saw this in worldwide events, right? Um, Obviously, some political events I don't want to talk about, but like I do think if you see a person in true pain, most people who are, hopefully I say normal, would try to help. So I guess my point is that I saw something, and this kind of got all over the place. But I'm saying is, if you want to make a change in your life, you have to do something different. Seriously, like you have to do something different, and that different might not produce the same result, but at least it's different from the result that you didn't like in the first place. You get what I'm saying? And I think that leads to possibly getting what you want because you're going to make improvements in your life later on. And that's what anything, right? Fitness, money, and me for my two things, my two expertise is fitness now, and I would say dating. So I don't know. I hope that helps. That was my eating rant, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on what I've been going through in my life, and I hope that helps you in your life. I do think not everyone lives, not actually every single person lives a different life, even if like they're twins. I think everyone experiences events a different way. So I think you can take what I went through this past few weeks about my life and actually learn it and apply it to your life. It's not going to be the same thing, but I think you could definitely apply it. All right, guys.